Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, the audio version of our Facebook Live series, Art Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists like you that it is completely possible to make a great career out of this art thing. And if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Okay, solo episode. Here we go. Hey guys, so I want to hop on really quick because, well, lately I've been getting these weird bursts of information and excitement here lately. So it's kind of hard to explain, but I feel this almost calling, and I'm not super religious, it's not really in that kind of a way. I just feel this weird urge, I guess you could say, to just put stuff out there. And I was actually eating lunch and I was like, you know what? I have been asked this question so many times, so I just want to address it. And I was about to write it down and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to click record since I'm home on lunch right now, and I'm just going to record a little bit because if you're like me and you have been in this situation before, I bet that this is going through your mind probably right now. And so I'll probably title this episode something like how to make money in a small town, or how to convince people to buy from you that don't really like art. Or if you're in an area kind of like the Midwest that's just not a big art scene. I mean, I'm in Springfield, Missouri. And if you drive to Kansas City, which is about 3 hours away, maybe a little bit less than, there's a pretty big art scene there. But where I am right now, Springfield, Missouri, art is not a thing. We have a small art walk where not a lot of people buy art there, just to be completely honest. It's pretty rare for any artist to go down there and sell a handful of things. I just recently went and tested out the art walk, and I brought a bunch of prints. I brought a computer so they could order, and the only thing that sold were these $5 small postcard prints, because just budgets are not high around here. We live in the Midwest. Cost of living is super low, and art is just not a priority. But I did sell almost $50 worth of $5 prints, and that was a big help to my salesman of a fiance who was down there just helping me just work the crowd and talk to people. Anyway, so I wanted to get on and record because I think there are other people out there who live in a similar place and have a similar situation where you're in a town that's relatively small, or you're not in a big artsy city, or even an artsy state. I'd say California is a lot more artsy, or Miami. And I just want to give you some advice because it's so possible for you to make a great living as an artist in a place that just doesn't value art a whole lot. And I even think you have an advantage. So I honestly think I have such a huge advantage living in this city because the competition is so low. And I know I'm all about like abundance over scarcity and that whole thing, like there's more than enough to go around, but it makes it a little bit easier when there aren't big time artists here already. I mean, there are some amazing talented artists, but I've noticed they just don't really put themselves out there a whole lot, which leaves a lot of room for me to come and just almost steal the show. And that is, I mean, that's completely putting it out there. That is really how I think. I think if a lot of artists around here just stepped up their game a bit, I think they could really make a difference. And so, which is why I started the Artist Academy, is just to show people how to make money selling their art and put themselves out there. But anyway, so the point of the show is that I want to give you some tips that if you're living in a place like where I'm living and you're just a little discouraged and you're like, people don't really buy art here, like they're not interested, like what do I do? My first tip for you is consistency. And I mean, so if you're consistently putting your work out there to your social media following, you're trying to grow your local name, your local social media following, you're trying to make a name for yourself locally, if you're trying, it will happen. However, it will not happen overnight, and it will not happen with little effort. I'm sorry, but you have to just put yourself out there. And nowadays, it's so easy to do that. Think about it. Think about way back in the day, like when artists were just alone in their studios all day and painted for hire and stuff like that. Like nowadays, we, like with a push of a button and a couple edited photos to make the whites white and just to make the photo look a bit better. Like after you edit it, you can just push a button and put it online. And people love that stuff. So consistency really is key. And I'm seeing it in so many things. So as you have probably know, my backstory is I worked for Bass Pro, and I got that job because I started to make a local name for myself as a promo artist, as a promotionist. What is it called? A promotional marketer, I guess you could say. But through that, I met a lot of people, and I started doing art for them. And so that got around, and that's how I got referred to Bass Pro, just through local stuff. But after Bass Pro, so I worked for Bass Pro for a couple years, long story short, and then really just got to just create every day, paint every day, and then they're not building stores anymore, or not right now. And so I had to just learn how to make a local name for myself after that. I mean, without being able to share photos, which was kind of crazy. So Bass Pro has this thing in their contract that's basically like, you paint for us, we pay you, it's paint for hire, you're not allowed to show our photos on your social media, which is totally fine. Like Disney has that, there's a lot of companies who have that. And so when I wasn't working for Bass Pro anymore, I was like, okay, I need to promote myself, but I have no photos to do so. So what am I going to do? So I literally did anything and everything. And if you're in the aspiring artist stage, or you're like just getting started, that's just kind of what it takes. I did a lot of stuff for near free. Sometimes they just paid for my supplies because I needed photos to promote myself. And I spent a lot of time in my studio just painting anything on canvas to get photos to promote myself. And what came from that, once I started just repeatedly and consistently putting photos out, that's when people started to take notice. And they say, I heard this on a podcast the other day, and it might not be exact, but I'm pretty sure it's 27. People have to see things 27 times for them to really know your brand, be able to recognize it, be able to spell it, for it to really get in their brains 27 times. But if you think about it, that's posting one day a week for a month, you know? If you posted one day a week for a month and they saw it, like pretend that the algorithm is on your side for that whole month, and really posting consistently is one way to get the algorithm on your side, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. And so if you posted every single day, I mean, that 27 times, just aim for 27. Aim for someone seeing your stuff 27 times consistently. to really get it in their mind. That way, when it comes time for a Christmas present or a anniversary present to their significant other, usually some of my favorite commissions are from husbands who are like, hey, like, I know my wife follows you on Instagram. Let's keep this secret, but I would love if you did a painting for her. How much would it be for her birthday? And vice versa. Like, I've had wives contact me, hey, my husband and I, our anniversary is coming up, and he really loves lions. Like, can you make a big manly lion? I'm like, yeah. But what you're doing with consistency is you're taking people who don't really care about art, and let's be honest, not a lot of people care about art. We care about art more than any of our customers ever will, so we have to make them care. And in a city where people just don't see art a whole lot, I mean, Springfield is a blank canvas still. I've done several street art pieces around town to try to beautify the city, and there's still so much room. And that tells me there's just not a lot of art around here. So people are not seeing art themselves on a daily basis, hardly at all. Like, we see it every day. That's why we care about it. We do it. We love it. They don't. They care about whatever they're doing that day, not that. So for us to get in their minds, we have to consistently post on social media, get out there and live paint, go to a First Friday art walk or a fair, anything, and put it in front of their faces, and put it in front of their faces over and over and over again, and then they will care. And then they will think about you whenever it comes time for that event. But you can't not post and hope that that person who knows that you're an artist, like, they know. Like, I mean, anybody who knows you probably knows that you're an artist. But them just knowing it is low likelihood that they're going to actually contact you because you're not reminding them. Like, they might not even know that you're still painting. Like, how long has it been since you posted on Instagram? A couple weeks, a couple months? And I mean, I think a lot of people get in this funk of like, well, I don't really have anything to post. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And if you don't, make it a habit right now of just taking before and after photos or whatever you're doing and setting up a time lapse. Time lapses changed my business. This is another tip. So that actually goes along with, I mean, just reminding everybody that you're there all the time. Consistency is make a time lapse. A photo is one thing, but video is a completely other thing. Like, people love to see things being made. It changed my business. I'll explain that a little bit more. Basically, I started making time lapses because I like to make them, they're okay, but my fiance, Ryan, he was like, you need to make more videos. People like to see things come together. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And I started posting those. And I mean, so it's super easy. If you have an iPhone, you just go into your camera, there's a time-lapse setting on there. Or if you have an Android, you can download something, just figure out how to do it, and then you go and edit it, and you make it to be about 15 seconds. I don't recommend a time-lapse being more than 15 seconds. People like to see things being made, and they like it fast. Like, our attention spans do not last very long. Mine don't last long. I'm sure yours do not last long. But 15 seconds is a really good amount of time for them to see something come together, and they can kind of see how you do it. And it's so cool. If you really think about it, I think we're so far into the art process. We're like, yeah, we do this every day. But it really is an amazing process if you think about it. If you put yourself outside of yourself and really think about it from the consumer's point of view, they're hiring you because you can make something amazing that they can't make. And that's something I have to remind myself all the time with pricing. I'm like, okay, it's worth it. Like, no, not an average person can do this. Like, it's worth it. And so it's the same with seeing something being made. Okay, so just to recap what we've talked about so far. This is basically a short podcast that I'm literally just sitting down middle of the day. I stopped painting outside because it was way too hot, so I came in to get lunch, and I was just like, okay, I need to sit down and just record this because I know people out there are in just you're in a place where they don't value art and it's just hard. And so I just wanted to come on here and just reassure you that I am also in a place that doesn't really value art, and it is hard. And let me just add on one thing to that as I'm thinking about it. I grew up in a town named Wheatland, Missouri. Population 371, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 371. And so my graduating class, mine was 30. My brother's was 20. So mine was a really, really big class. I mean, we had one long hallway from kindergarten to seniors. Like, I came from a very, very, very small town. But what I'm seeing is, so after I moved to Springfield here, I made a name for myself here through various things, Bass Pro, street art, consistently putting it out on social media, reminding people, like all that. It has trickled down to my hometown. They all know what I do. Like, they all know what I'm doing, and they're super proud of that, and I'm super proud to have been from there, and I love the support that they give me. But that's just another thing too. In a small town like that, it's easier to make a name for yourself, and there are more than enough people in that town and the surrounding areas to keep you busy. Like, if I didn't move to Springfield, honestly, I probably wouldn't make as much as I do in Springfield, because that's just how it is. You move to a bigger city, it's just higher incomes. I wouldn't make as much as I do if I still lived in Wheatland, 371 population. But there are more than enough people there to keep me busy. You only need 1,000 true fans. So if I take Wheatland and Hermitage and Wablo, those are names of the towns nearby, all those, there's 1,000 people in there. And so if I took all those people and all the little surrounding areas, you only need 1,000 true fans to really make a decent living. We don't need to capture the attention of every single person on Instagram, or, every single person in your big town that you live in. Like here, I think it's a population of 160,000 here in Springfield. And so that's a lot of people. So I only need a fraction of that amount to make a good living as an artist. Think about if you lived in Los Angeles, New York, all those places. Yes, there are so many more people. There's also so much more competition too. And if you do live there, I am not trying to discourage you either. Take advantage of just being around way, way, way more people than I am, and than most of the people listening to this are. So, honestly, it could happen anywhere. Like, you can make a great living as an artist in whatever town you live in. But from personal experience, being in Springfield, Missouri, population 160-some thousand, and then coming from Wheatland, 371, not 371,000, 371 population, the key is consistency. And I know it's super hard in the beginning because you're probably not going to see a whole lot of just return on your effort, but I promise that it will happen, and consistency is the key. You need to show people that you're an artist, remind them that you're an artist every single day, and things will start to happen, because that's how it happened for me, and that's how I know it'll happen for you. And actually, so backing up to my story of when Bass Pro wasn't as busy, I know I'm kind of going here, there, and everywhere. I'm still getting used to this podcast thing, but going back to after I stopped doing a lot of stores for Bass Pro because they just weren't as busy. So I came back here and I was really consistent and really just did everything I could. And I was busy around the holidays usually. But the rest of the year, not so much. And so there was just a tipping point time. And it was somewhere around the fourth quarter of last year. And to where I did jobs here and there. I got my name out some, but I wasn't crazy busy. And then there was a tipping point of last year at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and to where I have just been slammed busy since then. And I really think that's just a result of just being more consistent, just upping my game, showing up on my stories, posting regularly, making good captions on Instagram, and just, getting referrals from past customers, because the more stuff you do, even if it's not very, very good pay, it's still a customer. And that customer can lead you to another customer, which leads you to another, which could lead you to 2 customers. And then, so what I'm kind of trying to say is, last year I hit a tipping point. And before that, I was just being really consistent with everything. And that was a key component to now being just extremely, extremely busy. And so also, I just want to add this in last bit before I wrap this up. I am about to start a plan for the 4th quarter type thing. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to actually fully call it, like 4th quarter strategy, or take advantage of all the profits for the 4th quarter, something like that. You get it. So starting September 1st, I am going to basically make and start this 12-week course. So September, October, November, we're all going to go through this 12-week course in the advanced group. And I'm so excited about it, because I think everybody right now, it's summer, it's midsummer. We're all just kind of like enjoying the summer as we should be, or as I'm trying to be. And I really want to buckle down starting September 1st to really take advantage of the 4th quarter. Because as every artist knows, as you know, the 4th quarter is the most profitable time of year for any artist. Because, I mean, obviously Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, people are thinking about buying art. Whereas in January, summer, like up until the summer, and then they're just, people aren't really thinking about it as much, unless there's like a birthday or an anniversary. But everybody's buying gifts in the 4th quarter, and I want their gifts to be your prints, your originals, your custom commissions. And this is a strategy that I implemented last year, which played a huge role. So after consistency, like, you really have to get the consistency thing down before you implement all these strategies. And so really just to emphasize that, be posting on social media, like, get your stuff out there, remind people you're an artist. And then September 1st, we're going to start this 12-week plan to fill your calendar year. Fill your holiday, and which will spill over into the calendar year. Because last year, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to really hit it hard in September. I was slammed so much that it spilled over into January and February. I was booking 90 days out, December 1st. I was really stressed out, to be honest. I was like, this happened real quick. I went from not very busy to just stressed out and so busy and just working 7 days a week, which I mean, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can obviously schedule things far out. I was like, it's a feast or famine kind of a thing. So last year in November, December, I had so much work from doing this 12-week plan that I was like, I just have to take advantage of it. I'm going to work 7 days a week. And so that way next year when it slows down, then I'll have like a cushion, and guess what? It never slowed down. Right now, I know you're not supposed to do, like, you're technically not supposed to say what date it is in podcasts, because people will listen to it. Somebody could be listening to this a year from now. Anyway, it is, let me look at my calendar. It is July 31st, so it's almost the 1st of August. And I have been slammed since last September, so almost a year. And the profits have been great. Getting my mental space just together has been a challenge. And I think I'm just now getting to the point where I'm like, oh, okay, things are going to stay busy. It's okay. Like, feast and famine isn't really a thing anymore. I've built my reputation. So now I can, chill out where I don't have to say yes to everything. But anyway, I want to teach everyone the 12-week process that I implemented last year, and we're going to start September 1st. And so if you would like to join me for this process, you will not regret it, unless you don't want to be super busy. Then I will just give you more than you're asking for. But my plan is just to fill your calendar for the 4th quarter. Let's take advantage of it. Like, if you've been kind of slacking off this summer, like a lot of people have, and that's totally okay. Live your life. But the 4th quarter is the time to buckle down and just do it and make some money. And because that's why we are listening to podcasts like this to try to figure out how to make money as an artist so we can do what we love. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling. So if you would like to apply for this, I'm only letting in 30 more people. I currently coach 30 artists, and I have a pretty good handle on it. And so now I'm like, okay, I think I can let in 30 more right now. I'm closing it September 1st, not taking any more applications September 1st. But if you would like to apply, just go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com, and you will see a big long sales page. At the top, it'll say apply now. There's also a training video on there if you have time to watch an hour-long training video on some other ways to jumpstart your art. But at the very top at advancedmember.com, there is an application button. You hit the application button, you apply, and I will be looking at them pretty consistently through the next month. But after that, I'm closing it down, not accepting anybody until 2020. So this is your one chance. You have the month of August to decide if you want to do this and have fun, enjoy the rest of your summer. But then September 1st, we are buckling down and we are filling our calendars for the holiday times. Okay, all right, so I have to go do other things. It's midday, and so I just wanted to hop on and just record this really quick. So I hope you have a good day. I will talk to you guys later. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years, with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Also, if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll see you next week.